Somewhat. Oh, yes. Is that going to stop me playing computer games? Hopefully, in a moment, somebody will come and join me. Also, this is the last level of Pressure Wash. Power Wash Simulator, sorry. Freaking awful. I have very high praises for this game, but this last... So, I don't know how many hours I spent this level, but way too long. It is just, this level is horrific. It's just too big, not broken up very well. I have a funny feeling they had a self-imposed deadline. They rushed the game to get it out. Level 3. Hello, chat. Most of the rest of the levels have been very, very good. This one is just acres and acres of stuff. But yeah, I'll carry on running the career mode until someone joins. Play. For some reason you can do the career mode with 2 players because we're worried about people complete the career mode too quickly. They have too many friends. To my mind, having a game where you say, hey look, if you've got 4 friends playing the game as well, you can do better. That's a good way to get your game to be sold to 4 more people. You know, it gets a lot easier with more people. 50 people makes the game extremely easy. Get 50 of your friends to play it. Please make 50 friends. But yeah, this level, I don't know how long I've spent on it. I'm going to hazard it a guess somewhere around... It's way too long. It's way. I haven't played this level on headphones before, I just noticed the sea. Also not happy at the power washer. The carbon skin. Oh, it looks like plastic. Man, better skins. Well, I don't know if we are going to complete this right now, but on the basis we might, I believe there is an achievement to complete the level with this guy on the top. I don't know why he's not up there, because that's where I left him, so obviously he isn't seen. Put the object down. Hey, Andy.
Hello?
Oh, there you go.
And it's joined, so... What are you cleaning? Campaign or like replay?
Yeah, no, I haven't done it yet. I was just trying to estimate how long it takes to complete this thing.
Why is it a long time?
I reckon 5 hours if you're quick and 10 hours if you're not. I'm just trying to put the gnome on top so I can get the achievement. I've just dropped in.
I'm on top.
There's an achievement to put the gnome on top of the temple, and I assume it's this level.
The monk's temple.
Oh, right, not this temple. Oh, okay.
Holy crap! There's 44.5 meg of dirt.
44 megs.
Yeah.
I don't think they. I think they just sort of cranked it all. I was saying, I think this level was rushed out, to be honest. I really do. I was also wondering quite how they managed to compress their light map so much, and I know the answer. They didn't. Like, there's no way Tad could join it with that. That's not 44x. That's just. And even on my internet connection, it's going to be a little while. But yeah, what they should have done, and I've said this before, when you join the game, you should just join into a completely dirty world instantly, and then my computer sends your computer all of the dirt. So you just see then, you'd see the dirt like disappear, rather than making you sit in the loading screen, going, I could be doing something at this point. I'm a big fan of not making the player wait for.
This might take several minutes.
Do you have a guess how long it took you to do this level?
Oh god, I don't know. I just kind of had a day of just playing this, to be honest.
Just doing this level.
It did take a while.
This is my 4th session doing this map, and I'm at
I'd probably
60%.
say 3 or 4 hours. But I did. I was using a mouse, and there's a real hacky way of just using the aim mode and just kind of like washing very quickly.
I have been using that on occasion. But even with this, you just spend an awful lot of just running up and down the sides of the...
I did all the inside first, and then did the outside from the scaffolding.
Oh, I just basically strafed left and right across the whole level endlessly. Just over and over and over and over again.
But the outsides of the pyramid?
Yep. Because you can walk on it, everything's just the right steepness for you to be allowed to walk on it.
If you've got the extra long extension on the most powerful hose and the 3-prong thing, you can clear it reasonably quickly just from the floor.
Yeah, no, I really just think they just wanted a level that was just like just a really, really over-the-top massive level. It's as big as the engine will do. It's just not very fun. I'd much rather this level split into 3 levels, and you had to clean just the outside of the pyramid, and then you got access to like the first chamber, and you clear that, and then you get access to the second chamber or something. Yeah, something that's not just
everything at once.
Yeah, go and clean 3 square miles of dirt.
Well, it probably is after all that. We're nearly halfway there.
I also spent, I was at the garage today, so I spent a bunch of time looking at Unreal 5, because it's one of the things that's come up in a lot of my interviews recently is, what do you know about Unreal? And I'm like, I'm now a lot more up to date with Unreal than I was, and I'm, as I said, I'm suddenly a lot less impressed with Unreal than I used to be, because it's still Unreal. I've done Unreal. I used Unreal Ed back in '99. It's still Unreal Ed. And as I said, I think the main difference between Unity and Unreal is their marketing. Because they've got, I don't know if you've been following Unreal 5, but got nanites and lumen and all of these sort of fancy pants terms. Once I actually dug into the engine, I was like, yeah, Unity's got this. It's just that they're not so good at marketing how cool these features are. So yeah, I had a play with it. I need to sort of come up with a game idea I reckon I can do in a couple of weeks. Something very, very small and simple. Give it a bash. I don't know what yet.
No sudden shift of Astra Trucks or anything to Unreal?
No. I just want to basically write a C++ game in Unreal 5. Partly just to say I have. Partly some people, ask me about T-maps or something. I'm like, I know what that is, rather than making me to Google it.
It's like, what's the Unity equivalent?
Yes. Well, the funny thing was the documentation was fucking awful. It was obviously all copy and pasted from Unreal 4's documentation, and they haven't even bothered to search and replace UE4 with UE5, so it keeps referring to UE4. And in the editor, I noticed so many spelling mistakes, which was just like, do you know what it is, just to make sure that English. But yeah, overall the lighting was quite good. The difference is Unreal starts off with all the tick boxes on, and so everything looks pretty but runs like shit. And then on Unity, it starts with the tick boxes off, so everything looks like shit but it runs really well. I think that's a lot of it, is that you end up with these very pretty indie games written in Unreal, but only because they've got all the tech left on. What was it called? It was a walking simulator set in space, and you had like activatable rockets and stuff. It was on Game Pass. I just gave up playing because it runs at 4K with beautiful, beautiful graphics at like 20 seconds. Are you loaded yet?
I am at 86%.
So does it give a data rate? Does it go up if I stop washing?
I'm not seeing any noticeable difference.
The silliest thing is, let's just have a look. Network.
About
Wash
40.
It's sending about a megabit. That's it. It's not even hammering my network, and there's no options for it. Again, there should be very much an option saying how much network bandwidth do you want to be sending.
Uh, 97% now, so it won't be long. Well,
I'm assuming it's not linear. I'm assuming where it jumps the bits that have already been like entirely sent as clean.
I hope so.
I don't know how much time this. Like that's one of the things I did in Astro Trucks yesterday. I optimised the inventory. So instead of just saying this slot has 0 nothing in it, this slot has 0 nothing in it, this slot has 0 nothing in it, I just say the rest of the inventory is empty. I made a lot of the inventory stuff like 30 times smaller. You know, there's usually some good optimisations you can do. I see you've joined. Come and wall hacks my insides.
Wall hacks.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't, like, stop that.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do? Say if someone comes along. I mean, has this got VR support yet, or is it like?
Now, this is the thing. I've said before. If I tweet a developer, if someone tweets me, I respond, no matter what, always. So I tweeted our results of our last session, all those achievements. I do have quite a lot of followers saying I blimmin' love this game. VR support when, and not even a response, not even we're looking at it, or oh, if the community wants it, nothing. And it really annoys you, and game developers or anyone don't use Twitter as a two-way thing.
They just tweet out their own stuff and then.
Yeah, no community interaction at all. But yeah, this game actually it ships with all of the Unreal VR DLL, so it wouldn't be rocket science for something like Vorpex to add it, because it's just a Unity game and they have ticked the box.
Point and click, innit?
Well, yeah, but why you wouldn't ship it with VR, I don't know, because it's such a suitable game for it. Not all games are. It is.
You just stand around and pressure wash things.
I want in my life. Coming from Anna, get up and wash the car this morning. I always try and clean my cars when I take it to the garage on the basis that if my car's nice and clean when the garage get it, they know that
They'll look after it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just purely nothing, but I feel that if they think that I take good care of my car, I care if they take good care of my car. And they say they fixed the issues. I mean, I haven't had a chance to go on the motorway to test it, so we'll...
What issues are you having? Is it the Tesla?
Yeah, one of the doors was put on wonky. Not wonky enough. Wonky enough so if you got very close, you could just about tell. But it meant that the corner of the passenger side glass was just a fraction of an inch from where it should be. And that meant that when you were at speed and the internal fans were on quite strong in the car, just enough internal pressure to push the glass away from the seal, and you got a really, really loud noise.
I see. So it was something that you noticed and then called up and were like, hey, what the hell?
Well, no, it's all on the app. You just go, click, report issue, what's the issue, and then it asks a bunch of questions automatically on the app, and then they arrange for it to come out and have a look at your car, which is quite cool. And then he went, yeah, door's wonky. Well, he didn't actually. I said, door's wonky. And he went, oh, yeah. But then we had a look at the bolts on the door, and all the paint had come off them. So someone has already taken the door off and not put it back on quite right.
In production, or was that when it was being wrapped?
It shouldn't have been, because I didn't get that level of wrapping. I got the cheap level of wrapping. So it shouldn't have been the wrap place. Not to the best of my knowledge, anyway. But it's probably the factory, and they just went, good enough.
About right. I've heard a lot of horror stories from car manufacturing.
Yes.
Obviously, there's a lot of that around here.
Yes. Oh, they're all like it. They absolutely are. Car manufacturers are worse in so many ways. So I mentioned before, someone very smugly going on the internet about Teslas and build quality and recalls and blah 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 blah. And one of the points about Teslas is they've had a lot of recalls, and they've all been software because they've all done stuff that then the American driving agency have gone, actually we don't want that to be legal anymore. So Tesla's software patched the car. Someone goes, I've got an Outlander FEV, and you go, something reliable, blah blah blah, no recalls, Tesla are crap. And I was like, let's have a quick Google. And I said to him, you might want to get your car checked because there's an outstanding recall on the Mitsubishi Outlander FEV. Now, the Tesla recall he was talking about was, if you open and close the boot a lot, there's a cable that gets a bit bent, and after you've opened and closed the boot enough, the cable may wear through, meaning your reversing camera doesn't work. Okay, so that's the recall he was being smug about. The Outlander.
I noticed that.
Well, yeah, but it's not even important. The thing is, in America, the reversing camera is considered a safety feature, and all cars have reversing cameras. Not over here; it's not extra. So that was what we're talking about. Is if you use the car a lot, the reversing camera might stop working, and this is a preemptive. Basically, they just put the cable inside a bit of armor. The Mitsubishi Outlander FEV recall, under a high-speed impact, the rear seat belts may not secure the occupants and become detached. I'm like, right, okay, so you might want to stop being a little bit smug about your about how good your car is, because holy shit, what the fuck? What do you mean? How has every owner of these things not been rung up going, yeah, can you bring it in now, in fact, and we'll fix this?
Quite the fail.
And there's a new Toyota released their first electric car, and I've forgotten the name of it, but they've all been recalled, absolutely all of them, in a proper do not drive this car even 1 inch. And it's quite funny, really, because initially the report was that this electric car, that they hadn't done the wheel bolts up properly in the factory. And it actually turns out it's got more torque than anything Toyota have really put out, so it's destroying the wheel bolts because it's an electric car. So the Tesla has M14 bolts, the Toyota car has M10 bolts. So when you boot it, it's just shearing the bolts. I don't understand how Toyota, people who did the Supra and other powerful cars in the past. An Asimov, yes. But how have they managed to screw this up? We've done 1% so far.
Fine, get there slowly.
I'm not blaming you. This is just an awful level.
Isn't it an aggregate average? So it just takes all the percentages completed and averages them.
No, it's not. It's percentage of total pixels cleaned. So if you do every single object in the level to 50%, that will say 50%. It doesn't mean 50% of things completed. Otherwise, you couldn't do the get everything to 95% without getting a ding achievement.
Would you not just get everything to about 95% average complete, though?
No, because what you could do is you could clean something very, very big to 99% and probably not bother with a whole bunch of tiny things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that in the top corner is 70% of the pixels cleaned. It's not 70% of objects marked off. Otherwise, in a lot of the levels, that number would be jumping up in massive chunks, because obviously there's less than 100 objects.
That's true.
Levels.
Is this... Oh, is this wall count? Oh, that's not the same wall.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to feel my energy levels having returned, and then we can get back, because I want to Core Keeper, I want to Astroneer, I want to complete Raft. Raster Trucks testing. So might do that on Friday.
I'm surprised at how much you got wiped out. I mean...
I know, it's horrible.
I was rough when I had it, but not to the extent that you've had it.
Now, the thing is, I could push through this tiredness. It's just that I don't need to, thankfully. Like, you know, if the house was on fire or something, I would have the... I'm not so wiped out, I can't, you know, deal with that. Like today, I had to go and sit in the garage for 4 hours, and I've had 2 job interviews in the last week as well. So, you know, I've had to push through it for that, but because I don't have to, because, you know, I'm not a gym instructor or something, choosing not to on the basis that I will end up being healthy. But yeah, I've just got no energy. It's just... I've still got a cough, which I'm trying to ignore. But yeah, it hits everybody different. I mean, it really, really does.
Yeah.
Obviously, some people die, and some people go, oh, nothing. But thank fuck I have my sense of taste back. That was the weirdest thing.
I never got that. See, we both got it around about the same time that we were supposed to get our third refresh jab. So we never actually got it. So for this sort of wave that's come around, we had our the actual jabs, because you have to wait a while till you can get them.
Yeah.
After you've actually had it, we actually had the refresh very recently, so we've been very lucky in that we've not really, like, everybody around us has had it, but we've been kind of...
If they offer me another one, I'm taking it in a heartbeat. There's no way I want to go through this again. It's fucking horrible. Same thing with the flu.
Fair enough.
I'm happy with my day of snivelling in bed. With the... No, losing your taste is absolutely weird, because I didn't notice for a while, because you still get all the other things. If I eat something spicy, it hurts. If I eat something cold, it tingles. Chicken feels like warm chicken. It's just that after it you go, oh, that was a rubbish chicken nugget. No, so was that one. Then you're like, oh, all of these nuggets are a bit rubbish. It's only when you then go, I'm just going to pour soy sauce straight on my tongue. That's weird. All I can taste is salt at the back of my mouth and nothing else, that you realise that something's wrong. Because, of course, you don't really know how strong any given piece of food is likely to be. You know, how nice that particular chicken nugget or chip will be. So you just assume that you've just had a bad run of chips.
Yeah.
There's a mural I've missed.
One of the guys at work had the... I can't remember if it was smell or taste, where everything just tastes awful.
I had to have that, thankfully. I know someone who did.
Yeah, apparently it's horrible. Everything's just horrible. I just don't want to eat anything because it's all awful, and he's really keen on food as well. I just felt so bad for him.
I had that when I had chicken pox rather randomly. My taste altered, and I couldn't eat anything minty. They just tasted horrible. Like polos tasted absolutely grim. And it took crikey, months for that to wear off. I don't know why. It never crossed my mind that any other diseases could do that until, obviously, the COVIDs.
That chicken pox as an adult?
No, my gosh, I was 10 or something.
I'm amazed you can remember that. I can barely remember last week.
Can't remember you were 10?
Not really, no.
What films came out when you were 10? What year were you 10?
It would have been 2003 or 4, I suppose.
Oh man, so you didn't see The Matrix in the cinema?
I did not.
No.
It actually took me quite a long time to go see the Matrix in general.
Wow. To be fair, 2003 doesn't look like a good year. Yeah, so the third Lord of the Ring films came out.
I wouldn't have seen those.
Finding Nemo.
Might have seen that one.
The second 2 Matrix films. Bruce Almighty. Pirates of the Caribbean. Good. Oh.
Yeah. Probably would have seen Pirates of the Caribbean.
Curse of the Black Pearl? Was that the first one?
Black Pearl is the first one.
Yes, it is the first one, yes. Wow, Finding Nemo grossed... So Lord of the Rings grossed 1.1 billion. Finding Nemo just short of 900 million. I mean, the movie industry is much like the games industry. So the number 1 grossing film was 1.1 billion. The number 10 grossing film was only 273 million. So the graph is very, very, very steep on that. Finding Nemo 2 was the highest grossing animated movie of all time, and being overtaken by Shrek 2 in 2004.
I honestly don't know whether or not I would have seen any of those.
You must have gone to see Finding Nemo in the cinema.
Like compilation stuff with dream fights and stuff.
I had any. I don't know. What, just now?
What's happened? What's happened? Is it about the cat?
Nah, it's about Ice and Trip. 1 second.
Oh, excuse me. Evel. There's also like multiple floors. There's another floor up there.
Yeah. Have you not started on that one?
Oh, I've done all of bits and bobs because I just got bored trying to be systematic.
I did all the walls in sort of one like loop to. I don't know. I kind of like the murals. I thought they were quite funny.
I like the murals. The murals are excellent, but they're the only good bit about this entire fucking level. Not even any cats.
And then I did look for them. I couldn't find them.
Well, it wouldn't make any sense from the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
Could have snuck aboard the boat or the helicopter.
It's less of a good point.
Sorry about that, by the way. We're going to Iceland in September, so I had to deal with something.
So Facebook has got the wrong idea again and thinks that I want to buy a helicopter. It keeps linking to me new ultra-exclusive helicopters that are very easy to fly and stuff. And it's like, a new generation of helicopter. Click, click, click. Only $15 million. Like, yeah, right. I don't know, Facebook, why you think that anyone who's... Because all I did is I started to Google how to fly a helicopter. So when the nice man was explaining to me how to fly a helicopter, I wasn't trying to listen and work out what he was saying. I had a fairly good idea already. But Facebook has obviously got confused and thinks that I'm rich. Worked out I'm into helicopters, who isn't? Definitely could not afford to buy a helicopter or run one. I looked at how much they are to run. It's a couple of £100 per hour.
Well,
And that's
can't afford it yet.
Well, this is true. I do have. I said I did a couple of job interviews. One of them is it's potentially interesting, but probably not nowhere near enough money. And the other one, on the other hand, is almost definitely not enough money, but is super duper interesting. Doing stuff that's very much like projector games.
All right.
So I basically just went, "Hey, I do projector games. This is projector games. It's very much like what you did." He went, "That's a really good idea." And then he's like, "We can make money off this." I'm like, "I tried. It didn't work." Anyway, about your idea.
Not another. Oh God, what was his name? The American guy that we.
BJ.
Yeah, BJ. That was it.
No, not. This one, he's actually got funding. The thing is, I did actually contact BJ a few years ago going, Odeon have given up on their app that they wanted instead of us. We should maybe think about talking to me. And he goes, yeah, I've got some ideas to changing Team Commander. I'm like, it wasn't really the games that was the issue, was it? It was your bit. It was persuading them this was a good idea. So, yeah. But yeah, this other one, it sounds interesting. And I might even get Martine on board as well. Workflow.
Well, up to the moment, I have not heard anything, but I got to say, I've not really looked, I'm afraid.
What, sorry?
Well, they're catnip, aren't they?
What catnip, sorry?
There's catnip games, isn't it?
Oh, catnip, yes. No, I think they've pretty much sacked that off because they never really released any of their shit. They kept talking about it, but never actually got the hell on with it. Whereas I'm quite good at that. Not brilliant, I have to say. And one day, I did wonder if I should just rewrite Forklift in Unreal. Maybe that should be the one I did.
The world's prettiest game about forklift.
Well, no, because someone's released the exact game. It's coming out soon on Xbox Live, and it looks really good. It's exactly the game I was writing. It's like, other artists.
Is it called Forklift Simulator or something?
No, I forgot what it's called now. It'll turn up. Tad, I've got no. So one of the job interviews I went for, because it turned up, I very rarely turn down a job interview. Partly to keep my hand in, partly to make myself feel better about being in demand, and partly just in case a particularly good opportunity comes up. It's unlikely I will take that one. I'm going to be chatting with them tomorrow about the salary expectation, because they were like, "What salary are you expecting?" I kind of went, "I don't really know. I hadn't really thought about it. This job just kind of came up, but although if I were in a boring job, it might be interested. I'm not. So I'm not, unless they come back with an outrageous offer, I'm probably going to turn it down. This other one, though, the more physical one, that's not a full-time gig. That is I will do work as and when is needed on their stuff. So that one I can fit in and around my existing things, and it's actual money. Right now, I don't have any games that are selling anything of note. I have started to look into a remaster of Adapter, because I do need to release something in HDRP. But then there is a third opportunity which I am going to, explore, working with John Romero, and that one, quite frankly, if that comes up, I'm taking it.
Because you can.
Because that would be an amazing thing to have on my CV. No matter whether it's a great game, whether it's a shit game, no matter what, I get to say I did this. Like I worked on Jericho. Jericho was awful, but it sounded good. At least it sounded good until about level 7, because that was as far as we got in 6 weeks. If you play the game, the first 6 levels or so sound great. We did loads of great stuff. And then we said to them, right, carry on doing what we did, but do it on the rest of the levels. They went, yeah. And then they did nothing at all. So you can really spot the point where they stopped putting in all of the cool audio triggers. Yeah, it'll be interesting, because also John Romero hasn't done a first-person shooter in 22 years.
The other being Doom or Quake?
Daikatana.
I don't know if I'm not familiar with that one.
You're too young. So John Romero obviously worked on all the pre-Doom games, Shadowcaster, Operation Wolf, no, Wolfenstein, etc., etc. He then worked on Doom 2, and all the other variants of Doom, and then worked on Quake. Then he left to start up his own studio called Ion Storm to work on a game called Daikatana, which came out and was not as good as everyone had hoped it would be. Now, I never played it. I've watched Sibby's re-review, and he's like, it's not that bad, it's just janky. It was trying too hard, because you had a team of AI that would follow you around and help you and stuff, but they get stuck going up ladders and shit like that. It's one of those sort of trying too hard. Wait, an aircraft shot at the volcano. Is there actually a scripted event happening, or is that just a text message?
Wait, are you getting the phone messages?
Yeah, about an airplane.
Nothing happens.
Is it just a cutscene at the end?
It does. That does happen at the end, but because of the last piece that you have to clean, you can't really miss it.
Okay. So yeah, although I haven't done a first-person shooter since 2007, 8, 9, whatever it was, I have certainly done one a lot more recent than he is. But yeah, Daikatana it didn't help. They had this big marketing campaign. Unfortunately, it was, given that the game, as I said, did not review well. I can't comment, I didn't play it, but the tagline was, John Romero's going to make you his bitch. Which, if the game had been brilliant, would have been fine, but wasn't. The thing is, someone mentioned that people tweet this at John a lot. Like, he's going to make you his bitch. And someone was like, oh lol, I bet he's never heard that before. And he responded back to the thread going, it's like the 150th time today. Like, just let it go. Like, okay, the joke's been done. And I don't know well enough, so when I beat him at Doom, I didn't go to him, made you my bitch now. But I wanted to say that, but
I think that's how you go from possibly working to him to definitely not working.
well,
with him.
yeah, but that's also how you can go from just knowing someone to best friends by just
This is true.
casually insulting them in a hilarious way.
You just go, hello, my name is Adam, I'm John Romero's best friend. And go, of course you are, sir. Follow me to the van.
Maybe that's how you do it. You go, oh, you meet Peter Molyneux, going, hi, my name's Adam, I'm Peter Molyneux's new best friend, and see if he argues.
That could get very awkward very quickly.
Oh shit, yeah. So I have to prepare a talk as well. I think I'm doing it on the 17th in Bury, and it's a talk about, it's probably the car engine and game audio talk I did before. I need to update it a little bit. A few years out of date now.
So you had a whole section for electric vehicles and called it done. You're like,
Yep.
here is road noise. This is all you get.
No, I did actually have a section literally for Teslas doing drag racing. And yeah, but the thing is, it's very boring. You just hear a very loud whir disappear off into the distance. But I've got videos of like dragsters. You know when they do the burnout at the start. The burnout is so loud, all of the car alarms go off in the car park. You then have to go, right, everyone go to the car park now and turn off your car alarms, or they will go off the whole day long and your battery will be flat by the end of the day. If you want to break into a car, a drag race event is definitely the best place to go.
I'll bear that in mind.
But yeah, the talk has been described as a really, really interesting and really, really good talk. But I had to point out it's like an hour long, and it's about 10 minutes of me talking and about 50 minutes of cool car videos and turbochargers and bits of footage of burnout and stuff. So I'm like, it's mostly because it's not me. Yeah.
You're there for the content, aren't you? You're there to kind of learn something, so if you get to see cool cars, that's what you remember.
Yep. But yeah, I said I'd do it because they're struggling to find many speakers for this thing they're doing. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Which channel has feedback experiment on? I don't know what that is. Where feedback? But yeah, literally as well, the first question John asked when he got in the car is, oh wow, that's such a big screen. Yeah, does it run Doom? And I was like, doesn't actually. Why doesn't it run Doom? Like, you're the guy you've known rather than me. But we reckon it's because the car would ironically then come with an age rating. I think Doom is still technically an 18, so they probably have to get it re-certified. I can't see that because I'm not looking at my own stream. I'm looking at it via the aggregator. What are the buttons? What are the tick boxes? Like, is it tick this if you are a fool? Tick this if you like bacon. Done 15%. Two of us have done 15% in 42 minutes. That's current at 7.5% in 3. Yeah, it's about 10 hours. Every time I do the math, it's about 10% every hour is what you achieve on this level.
I don't believe that it took me 10 hours to do this. I Just.
Check my maths. Check my maths. I've been.
I'm
42 minutes.
fine with your maths.
42 minutes. 15% achieved. 2 of us. It's the equivalent of 84 minutes to do 15% for one person, which is about 60 minutes per 10%. There's a challenge for this one. Is it do it in less than 10 hours?
I don't think there's any challenges for this one. How many hours did you spend trying to put the gnome on the...
No, I did it first time. I did it straight away. But it didn't save it. Now, balancing physics objects and other objects is easy. Oh. Right, well, you should mark me extra for humour, because I'm going to point out you spelt responsiveness wrong. No one can relate to me, as I'm just quite frankly on another plane. So you'll have to take skill, dedication, and humour. Look at the skill. Look at this. No. Look at that pressure washing skill. That's a really silly idea to have on Twitch, because if it's someone you like, you'll just tick them. And... yeah, very odd. Yeah, I might do an Astro Trucks dead stream Friday night. I'll see how I'm going. I'll put it in the stream events though, tentatively, because this is easy. This is what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks. Apart from a little bit of work, I've just been sitting upstairs in the film room, which is air conditioned. I played a lot of Doom, a lot of Doom 2, and a lot of Astroneer, because I can play those games without really engaging my brain. Like, I've got all the achievements in Doom now, apart from one. But I've played Doom so much, it's pure automatic reflex. So it's about as mentally taxing as washing a car or something. And this is the same sort of thing. I don't really need to engage my brain too much to play this. Sit here and just dirt, wash dirt.
That's the original you're talking about.
Original, yeah. Yeah, I've got it for the Xbox One. I've got both of them. Holy shit, some of those achievements are a bitch, but I've got all apart from one. The last achievement I've got, which I need to arrange probably next time Mike's over, is I have to complete the whole game in Nightmare in co-op. So Nightmare mode on the original Dooms is where every mob spawns 60 seconds after you kill it. So you can't, if you have to backtrack, you have to fight your way through. You have to memorise the levels, because obviously ammo respawns, because monsters drop ammo, but health doesn't. So dying can be a real pain in the ass. So yeah, Nightmare is extremely difficult. But I've got some really, really rare achievements, so that makes me pleased. No, I'll do the same for Doom 2.
I've just been playing through Doom Eternal for actually the first time,
Oh yeah.
like this week.
Have you got the DLC?
I don't think I've got any of the DLC, no.
So I played and I 100%ed Doom 2016 on Nightmare. I completed Doom Eternal on Nightmare. Then I got the Old Gods DLC, and over the course of the first 10 minutes, I just kept turning the difficulty down and down and down, until I'm on I'm Too Young to Die, going, what the fuck? Like, did I get old in a month flat? What the fuck's going on? But apparently what they do is they release the DLC at ultra, mega overtuned difficulty, and then slowly nerf it over 6 months. I'm like, for fuck's sake. So I've never done the last boss in Doom Eternal. So it's you got to fight a bloke, you know, demon-y thing, and you know when the Marauders do the little eye twinky thing, you shoot them.
Yeah.
And they then you shotgun flip the ballistas, you shoot them twice. The last boss of the game also does the eye twinky thing. It's the only time he's vulnerable. But sometimes he does... oh no, which way around is it? He either does the eye twinky thing with no sound effect or vice versa. And if you shoot him then, he fucking heals quarter of his health. I was like, what? So you've trained me to do something, and then in the final boss fight, instead of seeing how good you are at the thing you've trained me, you're like, don't do that thing you've learned to do. And then on top of that, the boss fight, basically you fight him in this arena, and then when you defeat him, you go to another arena and just fight him again, but with more mobs. So it's not even like it's an interesting boss, it's do the same boss 7 times, harder and harder and harder. So I just haven't completed it. And this is on the easiest fucking difficulty. I might get back to it on the fact they've nerfed it, but it's like, I don't understand what you're doing with this. When I set the game on easy, I want it to be easy. I don't want the challenge, I just want to see the cutscenes and the story. That's why I'm here. But given that I did the first Doom on hardest difficulty and Doom Eternal on hardest difficulty, I was more than a little bit bemused at the that I couldn't even do it on easiest.
I honestly have no idea how you managed to do that on, like, Nightmare.
I'm good at that sort of shit. I mean, mostly keep moving. Don't ever stop. Just keep moving. Keep chipping away at things. Don't get trapped. Keep moving.
Yeah, I don't have the, I don't know what it is. I think it's the spatial awareness. I just seem to end up getting stuck or just,
Well, the thing
like,
is,
blow myself up is usually the main culprit.
I've seen people playing it on PC and they play to another fucking level. Like they're switching weapons. They fire and instead of going bang, click, click, you fire, and as soon as you shoot the weapon, you switch to another weapon and then fire with that one. So you don't ever wait for the weapon to reload. You cycle through all the weapons, and I'm like, you can't do that on the Xbox. It's not possible. I don't have a wheel mouse. I can toggle between two weapons and that's it. But yeah, mostly it's just you just got to keep moving and then learn the arenas. Like the challenge arenas, what they're called, Slayer gates. They are still hard. Don't get me wrong, but once you've done them a few times, you begin to learn them. Begin to learn what spawns. Learn when to stuff your ammo or when to save it. Sometimes just running around desperate waiting for the chainsaw to regenerate.
Yeah, fair enough.
But the actual combat in Doom Eternal is amazing, and Doom. Like, the fact that in most games you go, oh, I'm low in health, I'll run away. And you run away, and you go, right. In this one, you go, right, I'll run away, and you turn around after having run for 10 seconds, the fucking mob's still there, and it's chased you. And you're like, right. Right, first of all, how dare you? So, yeah, Doom is such an improvement on most first-person shooters I ever played.
Ceiling wall.
This floor must have a little. I can't see any dirt. I can see the tiniest of sparkles.
Yeah, she's hiding down by the 3D printer. She's just hiding the cord for some reason.
Oh, I mounted my minifig stand and it has not fallen off. And I bought 150 more minifig plates.
You built a minifig stand and then bought 150 minifigs to go into it?
No. I bought 150 minifig plates. So I've got the minifigs, but I can't find the plates. I bought a bunch before. In fact, I bought the entire UK stock of white minifig base plates. Like, literally every single one. And I can't find them.
How many is the entire UK stock?
A couple of hundred. They're not in demand. People don't really want them. They're like tuppence each or something.
Tuppence.
Tuppence. What would you say? 2 pence.
I don't even know what that correlates to.
Wait, you don't know what tuppence means?
Not really, no.
Ask your better half.
She's even younger than I am.
Yeah, but does she know what tuppence is?
It's like nothing. It means...
No, it doesn't mean nothing.
What, 2 pence, but...
Yes. Feed the birds, tuppence. I do not know what tuppence means. Anyway, the point was they were literally 2 penn'orth each. Is that 2 penn'orth? Is that better?
No.
two pence worth. What would you say? Don't you have some sort of cool young child slang for 2 pence worth?
No, when I grew up, we just evaluated everything off the cost of a Freddo like normal people.
Ah, I see. How much are Freddos in your mind? Because they're probably not that much anymore.
Back in Maddie, they were 5 pence.
Ah, right. So, I mean, basically, I could buy these minifig things for like half a Freddo.
Ah, I got you.
Did I tell you the Freddo story from the arcade?
I don't know.
So, when we do corporate events and stuff, you get a drinks voucher. And one guy came up at the end of the night saying, I haven't used anything on my drinks voucher. He goes, can I use it? I don't drink. Can I use it on anything else? And we're like, you can use it on anything you like. And he said, oh, I'll have all Freddos then, please. So he just got a tenner's worth of Freddos and just walked off living his best life.
Yeah, they walked off happy.
Oh yes, absolutely. We just walked off with just massive armfuls of Freddos going, brilliant! This is the best place in the world. I can't find
This is
the rest
far
of
too
this
big.
atrium floor. Like, I can't find anything dirty on it.
I had the same problem when I did it. It's just going to be something. I think sometimes you can get artifacts that are like underneath pillars and stuff.
Yeah, sometimes I just sort of wash. I don't bother looking. I just wander around all of the cracks. Just like literally, like I'm doing here. Just run over all of the seams, shall we say. Anyway, tuppence means 2 pence and threepence is 3 pennies. So that's pretty archaic even for me. That's like my parents' thing.
Yeah, I mean, what was decimalisation, like 1971?
1973, yeah.
I was not born for 20 years when that happened.
I wasn't born either. But you have 2 pence, and you don't say, you don't go, those are 2 pence each. You say tuppence.
If you're from Penzance, maybe.
No, I'm going to have to check amongst other people if they say tuppence.
In my age bracket, or
Well, just anyone, just it might be a regional thing. So, I mean, obviously, these were my parents and aunts and things saying these terms. I don't know if it's a regional thing.
To be fair, me either. I couldn't tell you if it was a regional thing anyway. I get complained at for the way I speak wherever I am. So.
But you are from Hove actually, so.
I am. The issue is that I've picked up a lot of my accent from my grandparents who are from Middlesbrough.
I think I don't know about Middlesbrough. Isn't that where that football disaster was? That Hillsborough.
That's Hillsborough.
Okay, yeah, I don't think about Middlesbrough.
It's near Newcastle. That's about all I know.
Oh, okay. Near Newcastle.
Instead of Newcastle.
Newcastle. I don't think anyone says Newcastle. I'm heading off to Newcastle. It sounds quite nice if you say Newcastle, doesn't it? I've been to Newcastle. It's not nice. Where UATech went to university, so he would disagree. And he would say it's nice. But you've seen Mary Poppins, right?
Many a year ago, but yes.
Yeah, but did you? Well, the song in it, "Feed the Birds Tuppence a Bag," where you just like, I don't know what that word is.
That's just old Cockney slang from.
Full old Cockney slang for 2 pence.
I mean, if you're going for Cockney, you can't really count on that film.
God blimey, Mary Poppins. Ooh, bless ya. I still can't do this bloody floor, but I can't find anything on this floor. In fact, I'm going to give up. Not entirely, I'm just going to go to the middle floor and come back to that thing.
Shame the co-op is only 2 people. You can't just get like 8 in here just to...
Well, you can play more players in the
win the free play, but
yeah, but it's like they were worried people would complete the co-op mode, the story mode too quickly. I don't understand the restriction. It's a pure decision, right? It's not like the engine can't do it. So I'm really confused why. It's not as if you complete it either. So for us to all complete this mission will still take, if there were 8 of us, it would still take the same amount of time. Because we'd have to 8 of us do it on my one, and then 8 of us to do it on your save, then 8 of us to do it on Max's save, and so on and so on and so on. A Freddo is a small, particularly cheap UK chocolate bar. They were 5 pence each, I think.
They were?
I think they were. They're more than
5
that now.
whole pence.
But essentially,
they're like 20, 25 now.
Essentially, a bit like Space Raiders or something. They just stayed the same price for a very, very long time. But it was just one of those sort of things that never changed. Yeah, Shelka, but why do the people who wrote this game care if we all bundle onto someone's save game and complete this mission for them very quickly. Like, so what? I don't understand the logic. I understand, for example, in Warcraft, where you don't want to power level people. This is power wash people. But I don't understand why in this game... they're purposely stopping you beating the levels too quickly. Very odd. As I said earlier, to my mind, if you can say, hey, you'll have more fun playing this game if you get 10 more mates, that to me is something that a game would want to encourage. Like Terraria, for example. You're like, get more people, it's better. So you're like, oh, I absolutely will. But, again, I don't understand why they care. It's not as if there's like a global leaderboard or anything like that. And even if there was, I could still do it 2-player, so that means the global leaderboard will only be pairs of people. Oh, no, I fell. Like I've fallen.
How'd you manage that? Were you using aim mode or no?
I was using aim mode and looking at the ceiling.
Ah, I see. There can't be much left at this point.
99%.
Oh, we really? So there's more than 2 things inside then left.
There's also a bunch of outside stuff too.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, like the palace pediment.
Pediment.
Palace figurehead, yeah. Stuff out here. The pediments. No, pediments.
Yes, that also very common word that I use in my day-to-day life.
Worth tuppence. What about Halfpenny? Are you Googling it? That's cheating. Andy, what about Halfpenny then? Yeah, Shalka, I understand, but they do allow you to halve it, and then they allow you to replay it with as many people as you like. It seems like a very arbitrary restriction. I've not really worked out why. Given that this level is 44 megabytes, though, that is quite a chunk of data to send up to people. Andy, what about Halfpenny?
Halfpenny.
Yeah, what about Halfpenny?
It's a place in London.
What? But if I said that ain't worth Halfpenny, get what I'm talking about?
Well, I mean, I have to deal with a lot of made-up slang in the Black Country, so yeah, I think I could work it out.
Yeah, so bear in mind with you have an American chat and calling it the Black Country is possibly going to ring different to American ears.
Yeah, it's very confusing. Hello.
Lock hole.
Is that why it's called the Black Country?
I have no idea, probably not.
Sounds good.
I could probably find out. I'm sure Dudley Council or whoever they are probably have many things to say about it.
Why is it called the Black Country? Because of the air pollution.
Surely not.
Yep. In 1862, Ehi Burritt famously described the area as being black by day and red by night.
Yeah. Well, they'd be proud of that. So.
We're nearly done, Tad, and I can go into free play. On the gallery mural wall.
That's fine.
Which gallery mural wall?
There's a couple of those.
The atrium is the floor.
They did a really poor job of splitting it up.
Well, it just says Palace Pyramid Wall. It doesn't say North Palace Pyramid Wall or South Palace Pyramid Wall.
None of them have done that.
But it should do. This is just too much.
Yeah. Your 10-hour estimation isn't that wrong. It took me 3 nights.
Yeah, I reckon it's 10 hours. I reckon 5 is pretty quick.
It's this one.
And it's not generous with the spottiness if you just leave a couple specks here and there. No, it definitely wants you to get rid of those. Bro.
Okay, the pyramid. Oh right, I see.
I want to face towards the volcano. When you finish it, anyway.
Right, there's the airplane. Just flying.
There's the airplane.
That is fucking embarrassing. Developers, know your limits.
What?
That airplane. The fact the sound of the airplane gone.
I think he goes away for a bit.
But it didn't have any directional audio. It just made a loud noise. Yes, Shaq, you're quite correct that the butterfly evolution in the UK was changed because of the
by the pollution.
By the pollution, yeah. So that's why we have black butterflies in some parts of the country and white parts of the others. How am I supposed to get on top to wash the top of the gym?
You don't need to wash the top.
But it just appeared. How is it dirty? Hooray! Job complete.
I don't get the animation.
Well, let me describe it to you. There's 10 minutes of Unity particle work going on. And then
you'll find out why this company is not an animation company either.
Oh my word, look at that. I'm going to watch that replay a couple of times. It's an awful replay. Like, the camera doesn't move, so you just see one side.
Yeah.
I meant to watch it again.
Your AFK cam for Fortress Craft Evolved is better.
Well, I was seeing a similar camera in Astro Tracks today. I'm a bit sad that when you complete the game, what you see isn't the your videos. What is this awful music? I'm gonna mute that.
Oh, mine is.
No.
Mine was because I had 3 different sets of videos. The first set of videos had no picture because the old videos didn't have it.
Okay.
And then I could tell the midpoint when they added the character, but it wasn't quite right. So a third of the videos were those, and then the last set of videos were
these
the
are
new
all
ones.
the single
I was like,
player.
oh, you actually kept them all.
Yep.
Right, that would be why. I forget this is a game by Squeenix. Because it's like, oh yeah, it's an indie game. No, it's not at all.
Published by.
I thought it was an indie game until I saw that.
Marketed by, pushed by, yeah.
One of the bigger game companies in existence.
Oh yeah.
All right. Whatever Steam is changed their Steam clouds.
Yeah, they've broken Steam Cloud recently. It
Absolutely hate my internet.
It keeps on erroring at me too.
It's awful. What did they do?
I cannot believe how
What
many
did they do?
I can't believe how many people worked on this game. Seriously.
Yeah, it's a long cutscene, like a long credits.
They have more testers than I have patrons.
Now, are they just going through the early access people on Steam and going, yeah, they're playtesters? Like, yeah, that's not how that works, but that's fine, I guess. That might be what they're doing, just to buff it out so you go through all the videos.
I do love that. I love that time lapse. That is one of my favourite things about the game.
The pyramid?
No, the time lapse. I think it's fantastic. They've done it so well. Although I kind of wish the cat. Oh yeah, see that was a
Just in
two.
general, yeah.
That was a two-player. Yeah, so these ones are 2 players. I think it was me and Max. No, that was as me. That was as me and I because we did those. We did those ready for the stream, so we could do them with more people. He was in red. Max was in pink.
Ah. Have you gotten to the reason they're not an animation company yet?
So watching the credits. Well, I'm not reading.
Or have the credits finished? Oh, okay.
30 people translated the fricking game.
Is there much to translate other than here's the
text.
buttons? I suppose the text, yeah.
But that's 30 different languages at least. Question mark.
Oh, sorry, about 15 languages, 2 people.
That's not that. Why would you need 2 people? For verification?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or verify someone's not writing
That's
obscenities in another language.
Yes, that has happened. Oh, here come the new levels. Oh yeah, so my level on this broke. I rejoined and I was back at like 20% completion, and it kept like flickering back and forwards. It was really broken. I did quite like the UFO level though.
That was quite good.
That was exciting. It was just like, oh, we gotta watch this again. And they're like, wait, what?
Cutscene. Looks like
Alright, you're almost done.
Looks like it took someone the whole afternoon. Oh, was the cat in the back all the time?
It's pretty bad. Better.
The monks are working harder than ever. What? Unsubscribe from Wasp Facts. I get that joke. Wait, that's the final cutscene. That's the one that people said they were crying over because it was so emotional.
What? That was one of the worst animations I've ever seen. God. Oh, the whole time I'm watching it, going, yeah, there's a reason you're not an animation company. Oh my god, what the fuck?
So, let's go to the fishing boat because there is a and I'll start the multiplayer up because there is a achievement on this. We do love
I'm going to drop off.
Okay.
I've got to be up early for work for tomorrow, so I've got to go, I'm afraid. But I figured I'd get an hour in, clean the pyramid with you, and then...
yeah, please continue to put pictures of the cat in the Discord.
I will do so. She's currently laying in the middle of the doorway staring at me, so...
I love her.
I'll let her know.
Well, hopefully I see you on Friday, because I was planning to do some Astro Trucks playtesting, see how much I've broken it down.
If I can, I will. I think I might be busy, but we'll see. But yeah, otherwise, good speaking to you both. I'll catch you later.
Yeah. Have a good evening. When are you launching this thing?
I am. Oh, I forgot to hit continue. I was trying to look at the achievement.
And you gotta open it. I can tell you what the achievement is. I just got it.
Floor.
Decks and floor, yeah.
Decks and steps.
Yep. Just all the wood stuff.
I actually quite like this one. This is one of my more favourites.
Yeah, the scaffolding for it was so well done. I'm like, wow, I don't have to futz around with their broken ass hitboxes.
But yeah, so I wrote, whilst I was at the garage with Tez today, I wrote the script for my sort of state of the game. So again, I've been watching these videos about scam MMOs, and one thing they do, they're very, very, very good at showing lots of videos about what a great state the game is in. So I'm going to try and do more of that, more of...
hype. You got to hype yourself up.
Not even hype it, but just like, this exists and it's progressing.
That is hype.
Oh, she is such a pretty pussycat.
Oh, Andy's? And you like this cat especially because it doesn't bite your toes.
Dora and I are coming to an agreement on that, which is every time she does it to me, I punish her when she's stopping.
Yeah, you've had 2 weeks to fight with Dora. I'm sure that's been exciting.
I mean, she's been very cuddly and sweet as I've been like, not quite laying in bed. I haven't been that ill, but like, there's been a whole bunch of days where I'm just like, yeah, I'm not doing anything, and she's just sort of laid there. But a couple times she decided just to bite me, and I'm not having it. Like, it's all right when she sort of teeths me, but when she actually bites,
Unacceptable.
hold on, not the. Do I have to do the bow or just the deck and steps? Let's do down
Wooden
here.
stuff.
Yeah, but the bow is a deck, but it's not listed as something deck.
I still got the achievement doing it, so.
Well, let's do the bow last on the basis it's not. Just to be on the safe side, because I don't want to have to restart just to.
Did you get the 95% one?
No.
'Cause that was a pain in the dick.
I think it's quite easy if you choose the right level and you take the right approach.
Even choosing the right level, because you picked the bicycle, like the old-timey bicycle.
Oh, I wouldn't have chosen that one. I'd have chosen the van, because the van has lots and lots of large areas that you can get nearly done, and then as a whole, then you got the little ones.
Nah, the bike's only got like 9 pieces, but you've got to be precise. So you've got to pick one of your worst power washers with the red nozzle to get the rust.
I've also
And it
got.
doesn't do the rust very well, so you're just slowly chipping away at it until you get to 95% on this piece, go to the next piece, get 95% on that one, just keep going.
So, but what you can do.
I mean, I got it, but it wasn't fun.
You can clean a large piece to 95%, and that will count more towards the 95% completion than 95% on a small piece.
Yes.
I
You got
also,
to do all the little pieces too.
I also have to do the temple only on the white nozzle as well.
That one was not fun.
That's one for multiplayer.
Ah, fine, I'll help you.
I was assuming Max was going to turn up. And Henry. So Max is
That would be
offline and
nice.
Henry's AFK.
Well, best laid plans, and it's not like this is news. You were asking about sugar earlier in the events. I was just like, well, I can give you some advice for this. It's not great advice, but it's advice.
No, I'm not too bad. I'm definitely better than I was. I just seem to have quite small amounts of energy. And having to,
It's better
Well,
than my tank driving friends.
I had to go out the house today and
Oh no.
sit at Tesla and wait for them to fix my car and stuff. So I've had to do social things.
Fix your car.
Yeah, the
It's
door
been sitting for 2 weeks.
the door was put on one key.
Ah, they finally got that unsnaggled.
I don't know yet.
Oh,
I haven't
dear.
taken it. I haven't taken it out of speed, but it looks like they actually listened to me and they've actually rehung the door this time rather than we'll change the seals. Dude, it's not the
Gasket,
seals.
bro.
Like you can see the door's wonky. If you look, if the car was 5 years old and it was always been a bit wonky and the seal was just less good than it was, you're probably right. You can probably get away with it, but the seal is brand new, dude. It's not gonna be any different. Okay, steps done. Main deck not done.
Yeah, because this is in the new age of precision power washing. You got to get every last little thing. It's like, bro, please.
50% of the cabin trim.
Yeah, but you gotta do the edging just right. You can murr at that all you want.
I was doing it in my head.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
There it goes.
So I didn't
Yes,
get
we need to do the
achievement,
top
so
one.
we need to do the bow?
Yes.
Bow, not
Bow.
bow. Yeah, bow wave, not bow wave. Oh, what is it, bow?
Bao is a VTuber on Twitch.
Oh, bow is also B-O-U-G-H. Bow of a tree.
She just spells it BOA,
I think
which makes no sense also because that's boa. But all right.
I was in a Quake 3 clan called BOA, which stood for a bunch of assholes.
That also applies to her.
We weren't very good.
Oh, well, she's not either.
Oh. It's had my niece asking me if I could help her become a VTuber.
Oh dear.
I mean,
Do you have an iPhone? You have to have one of those.
no, there's loads of ways of doing it. But I'm like,
Yeah, you really do need an iPhone.
no, there's loads of
the facial recognition software they use
is
better
not
than
as good
others,
as Microsoft
apparently.
Teams is.
Really?
Yeah. Bear in mind, I have dealt with both of these systems professionally. I was quite surprised. Like, for example, the Apple face tracking cannot track your eyebrows separately. If you raise
What?
one eyebrow, they both go. Microsoft Teams,
What?
on the other hand, tracks your eyebrows separately.
Go Microsoft.
Sorry,
That should do it for
did you think there was something that you could talk technical that I didn't already know everything about? This is my.
I'm going with what I've been told,
special
and you're
skill.
here to correct me and tell me all the good stuff.
No, there's loads.
I
of,
learned from you so much. I love hanging out with you.
There's loads
This
of
is probably my
YouTuber
favorite
stuff.
Patreon. This is my favorite way of spending money is hanging out with you.
Oh, you can hang out. You don't need to give me money to hang out with me. Like no
Well,
one.
you would never have known I existed unless I was throwing cash at you.
Well, I guess that is true.
But this investment has paid off so nicely, and I love it.
No, this is my. In the job interview, one of the things they asked me is like, "What can you bring to the job?" And I'm like, endless enthusiasm, and also I'm very good at learning things. I'm very, very good at it. So like, it only took me not even 6 weeks, maybe 3 weeks of dealing with US tax law before I knew more than my accountant about W8BEN forms and stuff like that, and dealing with the IRS, because I was just looking up. I was just absorbing all of this information. And one of the questions they asked me in the interview was, how do you learn new things? And I'm like, well, I start off just by finding some YouTube videos on the subject, and then just
Oh, that's always a good spot.
let them play in the background. So like when I decided to get into 3D printing, I just watched nothing but 3D printing videos for like 3 or 4 weeks, and in the end of that, I've learned an awful lot, and some of it sticks. So I'm quite good. I'm good at pub quizzes, you see, because some of that information does stick up there.
You did get the achievement, right?
I did get the achievement, yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
No, I just found a new YouTube video or YouTube channel for me that I'm finding very interesting.
It's not the one about the British motorways, is it?
No,
It's
it's called Real Life Lore, and it's just going over all the social and political implications of everything that's going on right now.
Yeah. Well, in good news,
Yes.
Kansas put the abortion laws to a referendum, which
Ooh.
it wasn't even close. So
Yeah,
many
it's not
votes
going
for
to be.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
No, don't change our things. Like you've got the,
Yeah.
I'll say religious zealots. That's not true because people keep pointing out the Bible has quite explicit instructions on how and when to do abortions in it. It's not.
Yes.
This is definitely a political thing. But
Yeah, this is 100% just rabble rousing before the election.
so few women
Anybody that
are for this. Like, regardless of anything else.
oh god, yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know about your life, but I've certainly been in a situation where, things have gone awry during my dalliances with a lovely lady, and we've had to visit a doctor.
The thing about
It's
it
just
that
a
I
thing.
don't understand, that right there. It's like this is doctor-patient confidentiality being just what happened? Why is this not part of this whole argument?
Yeah.
Like, why is it anyone's business?
The thing is, a lot of sort of biologists have just been saying, this concept of there's a heartbeat cell. It's like, there's no brain. There's no brain function
Oh.
for a long time. It's not alive. There's no life any more than the yogurt is alive. It's sort of alive, but it's just a collection
Sort
of
of,
cells.
but it's still
Yeah.
delicious.
Well, do not eat babies. But the worst one was someone going, and they were using the fact that the end of the abortion rules overlap with the point at which you would try and save a baby that is born prematurely. And they're like, yes, they said, but what you seem to be saying is that people are just, I don't know how many weeks, let's say 42 weeks, but we're talking very, very late. Maybe not that many, I don't know, very late. But they said, what you don't seem to understand is that when people have abortions at that point, it's when the doctor has sat them down and said, either you will die, or the baby will die, or both.
That's not a question.
It's not. It's not. Hey, do you still want it? This is the point where you've probably picked a name, where you've probably decorated the
this is
nursery.
traumatizing.
Like this is this is.
Yeah.
And then there was this article that did the rounds about how it became a rite of passage amongst young African American girls, and they would go out and they would get pregnant on purpose and then have an abortion. It was a rite of passage. And then people saying, "Wow, that's I've never heard of this. Can you give some citations and the studies?" And it turns out.
You not say pull this out of your ass.
Yeah,
they were like, oh.
they just made it up because it fit the narrative.
Yep. And that's a lot of the problems right now.
I want to say it was Matt Gaetz. I don't remember who it was, but it was an American politician. And he managed to tweet saying, as a gay black man under Obama, I don't feel safe. And some people are like, did you forget to switch accounts while tweeting to yourself?
Oh, yeah, I saw that one. He's like, yeah, he definitely forgot to switch accounts.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff doing the rounds at the minute as well. The company that BP, what was it, Shell? I think it was Shell, paid to basically plant the seeds of doubt about climate change. The guy basically died, and he's just before he died just went, yeah, we engineered the whole thing. Climate change is absolutely real. We just found the 1% of scientists that thought it wasn't, and then we put them on the news constantly.
Yep.
So it looked like we were balancing out. I still see people talking about it, and it's like, as people say, it's much, much, much easier to fool someone than to persuade someone they have been fooled.
Yes.
I've still seen people. I mean, in the UK, we've just had the hottest day ever. And I don't mean by a little bit. It was 5? It might be 5 degrees hotter. This is centigrade. I know what that is. 12 degrees Fahrenheit, I think, hotter than ever. Not a little bit. We haven't just picked past. You know, it was the year I was born was the previous record. And we've just, not just beaten it, we have smashed it. It's not even funny how much the record for temperature has changed in the UK. Very glad I had aircon on that day, I tell you.
Yeah, I was hearing a lot of that. That was making the world news. I was seeing a lot of stuff about how all the British people I've got on Twitter are just like, yeah, I'm dying today, so
Yeah.
I will miss you all. We're like, wait, what?
So that, for people abroad, that's about 106 Fahrenheit. The thing you don't understand is that we're not geared up for...
No, they don't have AC in all their houses like America does.
No, we don't.
Yeah, they're not prepared
But
at all.
Then it's things like the Royal Greater Manchester Hospital, they opened all their doors to allow airflow through.
I saw that.
Yeah, and so all the seagulls flew into the building and filled the building up with
Yeah, I
seagulls.
saw that too. I was like, oh
It's
no.
like, that's how not prepared we are.
Wait, the hospital doesn't have HVAC?
No, not necessarily.
Building's that old?
Not necessarily.
Dear.
It's expensive. And
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not saying it's not, but
I
it's
mean-
one of those like that's gonna be the one that needs it.
I mean, I've got my aircon on right now. It's set to 27 degrees because
Reasonable.
rather confusingly, the temperature. If I say make the room 27, the top where the aircon unit's thermistor is a lot hotter than where I am because it's 60 in the air. So I have to put the temperature in the room to way above what I want it to be, otherwise it doesn't do anything. So if I say put it to 24, that means 24 up by the ceiling, not 24 where I am.
Yeah, that's why we put our thermostats next to the return. Because that's where the hottest air is.
What brand do you deal with out of curiosity?
We mostly deal with Train and Goodman.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you some advice,
But keep in mind, Train is like 4 or 5 different companies. Why? Are you asking about Samsung?
No,
Oh, the other big mini split. We dealt with a lot of Mitsubishi when I was in.
well, it's only because
Afghanistan.
I want the Wi-Fi module, but I don't know if I can just buy it and plug it in because I want a bit of
Should be
control
able
from
to.
my phone, because they never got back to me. Because I want to be able to say, oh, I'm going to go upstairs in an hour. Oh, it's 30 degrees in there. Make it nice and cool now while the door's shut. Which I assume I can do from the app. But I don't. Yeah, but I don't know if it's just that literally I buy it and I open it up and I plug it in. They never got back to me.
They just ghosted you?
Yeah. They're like, oh no, they said, oh, we'll look into that. I was like, excellent. And I gave them a month of saying, how's it going? Like my accountant's ghosting me as well at the minute, and it's like, I understand you're really busy, but I have emailed you 3 times now, going,
They're locked out of their account right
what-
now.
what's- They're not.
Like, I'm sorry.
They're not a mechanic. They don't have that excuse. The mechanic said, "Oh, sorry, I didn't answer your email." I'm like, "Yeah, we our email's playing up." It's like, "Oh, fuck off, is it? What's up?" And if it is, just start using a Hotmail for your rather than your ISP. But bollocks, is your email playing up? Not 1995 anymore. You can't use that excuse.
Not in the world that we have now. That is the one thing about me getting out of active that I was thankful for. I was just like, I don't have to deal with emails. Tired of that. Don't want to deal with that. And all the office people I deal with, I'm like, you have to deal with a lot of emails, don't you? He's like, that's all we do. I'm like, that sounds horrible.
I've done that. I used to work for a year 2000 company, and it was just emails and phone calls was all I dealt with.
Ugh.
That's another one. I still see people. I saw a discussion on Twitter about arguing with experts about people, about things. You know, literally Dunning-Kruger effect. You argue with some of the world's most experienced people. And I said I have this about year 2000 stuff. I have people telling me it wasn't all that and it wasn't important and it was a waste of money and all these sort of things. Even though, speaking as someone who did year 2000 to a very, very, very high technical degree, I guarantee it was. And I immediately had someone going, oh yeah, but it wasn't really all that, was it? I'm like, dude, do you know what this thread is about? It's about arguing with experts about stuff that you don't know anything about. And I can see from your bio, you're 21. What the fuck do you know about year 2000 stuff? Like, I just couldn't believe it. You'll see these, you see a lot of these. So GM are now doing... Yeah.
You keep getting cut in and cut out. Is that my internet doing it, or
your internet does seem a little bit shonky tonight?
I've still got. I'm in the yellow.
You've been cutting out a bit.
Yeah, shit.
That's all right. It's nothing too bad.
Yeah, but I'm missing like half your side.
It should buffer up. It's not supposed to just cut out. It's supposed to just buffer it up.
I don't know.
But yeah, I did year 2000 work, and having somebody argue with me about that, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? As I mentioned, a GM are now beginning to sell quite a few electric cars, so they're having to basically do a bunch of anti EV propaganda, just saying this stuff isn't true. And every time they do like an article saying, actually the EVs, the batteries will last like 10 years ago. Actually, I heard that there was this Tesla, the battery only lasted 4 years on it. And it's like, dude, this is an article about debunking all of the lies, and you're arguing, no, I think those lies are true. I don't know, people.
Yeah. They found a straw to grasp, and they're not going to let go.
I had someone just a couple of days ago. What was it they said? They said something like, the thing is, with Tesla, they have terrible customer service, and there have been people who've bought a car and then had to spend more fixing it on a new car than the car costs. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, where are you from? Australia. I'm like, do they not have car warranties in Australia? Like, if I buy something and it breaks on the Tesla, if anything goes wrong in the first 2 years, they cover it. And anything,
2 years?
2 years.
Ow.
And the drivetrain and the battery is 8 years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you can still get people going, oh, the batteries only last 5 years. And it's like, what, the batteries last 3 years less than the warranty? Like, oh, that
doesn't make any sense.
But they're like, they don't last that long. I'm like, here's the Tesla's webpage listing the warranty. So what's your argument? That Tesla are lying on their webpage and won't honour the warranty? Because good luck.
Or they hate money.
To you. Well, or they actively will replace your battery after 5 years and lose money. And it's like, your battery is guaranteed to have 85% of its charge after 8 years. It's not going to give up working one day later. That's not how it works. It's a series of cells that degrade slowly.
Unless it's a software thing, and that's a completely different argument.
Well, I mean, even with the Apple one, that was actually interesting, because Apple said, well, we had two choices, which was either we slow people's phones down or we turn people's phones off. Because Android, when it has the same situation, doesn't slow the phone down, it just turns the phone off. And we said we chose the better option. The people are bitching, but it's like, I don't want the turning off option. Now, the only change they've done, that it now pops up a little warning in the corner telling you it's throttling because your battery's fucked, which probably should have done already.
Yeah, that should have been the whole start. It's just like, hey, we're doing this. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Or even, your battery's knackered, why not get a new one? We'll sell you a new one. It was so much nicer than that last one.
This is a very interesting one. It's like, there's nothing special about it, but it's so nice.
Did you see
this is good power washing.
Did you see all the cats on this level?
Cats? No.
Oh my god, come to me. God. How did you not?
Because I was looking at the ship.
A cat.
Oh wow, there's a lot of cats.
There's a lot of cats.
That's cool.
I checked. You can't power wash them off the buildings.
No, that wasn't gonna be a thing. That's a lot of cats.
It's because of the smell. They're all here because of the smell of the boat.
Bodie McBoatface?
I think it's actually called KM972.
Which I'm still annoyed is only the name of the drone and not the actual ship.
There's lots of other things. In fact, anytime Andy gets near anything, he also calls it whatever it is: Carry McCarface, Bikey McBikeface, Boaty McBoatface.
Excellent. Well, it was from someone in England, or it was your news reporter that did it.
No, it was a boat, and they put it out for an internet poll, and they were not calling it that, and then I think they call it the Sir Richard Attenborough. But what was Boaty McBoatface?
They named it the underwater drone that
it is. The British lead boat
to.
in a fleet of 3 robotic, lithium-powered. Yeah. Boaty McBoatface.
It's the drone.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, it lives on, but it's such a cop-out. The people wanted Bodie McBoatface because that's great.
It was a homage to Hootie McOwlface, an owl named for a Dr. Bird program in 2012. I've never heard of that.
Oh, wonderful.
It's like, I think it was in Hungary, and it ended up being called the Freedom Bridge, because they had an online poll, and then the internet realised they could vote whatever they liked. So the most popular one very quickly became the Chuck Norris Bridge. And it was like, 1,000 times more votes than anything else, because they hadn't secured it very well.
And they're like, yeah, we can't do that.
Yeah, well, they could have. But yeah, so they ended up renaming it the Freedom Bridge, I believe.
Yawn.
But have you seen the name of the Scottish Gritters?
Gritters?
Gritters.
Oh, yeah. I think there's a state that does that too. Michigan or Montana or something. Yeah, they let you name the snowplows.
So
the winter services vehicles.
So there's Buzz Ice Clear, Spready Mercury, the Mary Queen of Salt, Brine Freeze, like it, License to Chill, Bear Chills, Gritney Spears, William Wall Ice, Snow Connery, You Only Grit Ice, and Gritly Come Dancing.
Yes.
Where was the other one? Yes Sir Ice and Can Boogie. Gritalica. Oh, brilliant.
Yes.
What was the other one? Itsy Bitsy Teeny Winny.
Oh yeah. Little ice machiney, something like that.
Yeah.
That one was pretty funny. It's just like, I love how creative people are when they're given the chance.
Yes, which is why, I mean, so Astro Trucks finally has a tagline, and I didn't come up with it. I found it from an old 2000 AD comic. But I've been trying to come up with a tagline for it, and it was any space, any time. Yeah. As in, any place, anywhere. I'm like, yeah, perfect. There we go. I'm just using that one. It's what happens when you get someone who's a professional writer who does this stuff for a living. I did check; they never copyrighted it, and it's been out of print for about 40 years. So I think I'm safe.
Public domain, if I ever heard it.
Nah, about public domain. It's more of an obscure reference now, because today I had to implement procedure-generated ship names. So I had to look up. All I did is I just looked up every major manufacturer in the Star Wars and Star Trek universe, and all the ones that haven't got a trademark, because it's the Incom X-Wing, for example. So
really,
yeah. So
they all have company names. I
yeah.
didn't know that.
What?
That's cool.
Well, so wait. Say I must be.
I never thought about it. Let's be honest here. I never thought about it. Like the Jay and Silent Bob thing, where he was just like, "What about all the contractors that died on the second Death Star?" It's like you don't really think about that.
Where's it gone? We'll make sure I get the name right. Yeah, so the Star Destroyers are made by the Quat Drive Yards. Incom make the X-Wing and the Y-Wing. TIE Fighters are made by... I'll make sure I get it right. I do know this, but I just want to check. They're made by CNR. So yeah, they all have names. So I've just basically just nicked those as little references. It's cool. And I just had to make sure they weren't trademarked. Because Star Wars have a habit of trademarking anything they can get away with.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising that Disney hasn't done that yet. But I guess it's such an obscure thing. Like, I've never thought that all Star Wars vehicles came from dedicated commercial shipyards. That makes perfect sense.
They only tend to trademark stuff that turns up in the films, and there was a toy made of it. So there's a TIE Fighter, but it doesn't mention the sign-off systems thing anywhere on the top.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've never heard of that.
I mean, I only know the X-Wing from the game X-Wing, because it actually mentioned that, Incom have made the new X-Wing, and it's an upgrade to the old Z95 Headhunter and stuff.
Ah.
Yeah, I suspect this will be the only other thing I'll do tonight. As I said, I'm still...
Yeah, you're starting to fade, I can tell.
I'm still so weak. No, it's really strange. I'm generally a person...
Your body's exhausted.
Oh.
It was just in a knife fight for the past, 2 weeks.
Oh, 3.5.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, tomorrow I will... I've been doing a bunch of footage, but tomorrow I'll be putting together, not quite a trailer, but I will try and think about doing a state of the game video for Astro Trucks, because as I said, all of these MMO scams that I've been reading about, they're all very, very good at doing these update videos, and they make a huge amount of money and never actually ship a game. And I was like, well, that seems unfair. But that does mean I'll have some footage I've actually spent time on that I'd be happy to share on Reddit and
Cool.
I also need to post all the videos of all my existing games running on the Steam Deck on various places too.
Is there something on the store page that just says Steam Deck compatible?
Yeah, but Valve have to go over that. And Valve, for some reason, Valve have done Fortresscraft Evolved. No, Fortresscraft Chapter 1 and none of the rest. Which seems a bit weird.
What?
Yeah. I actually did chat with Valve because Fortresscraft Chapter 1 doesn't work. But it doesn't appear to be my fault. It appears to be something in the emulation layer. So I need to get hold of Valve going, why don't this work? But yeah, I did a whole bunch of videos. Now, the weird thing is, right now, Steam Heroes is mostly negative reviews. And almost all the reviews are the same thing, which is it doesn't work properly. I was like, well, it works on my Windows 10 PC, it works on my Windows 7 PC, and it works on my Linux fucking handheld console. So I don't know what to say, other than it definitely works. Like 100%, definitely works.
Their toaster PC can't handle it.
The only game that doesn't work is Amputee, but that's because, for some ridiculous reason, it makes you press spacebar to start the game. And, yeah, that doesn't really work.
Well, whoever thought of that?
Yeah. I need to... I had to do a couple of other, minor control tweaks to some of my other games, but they all work, they do work just fine, and I've been amazed how good the Steam Deck is. I've been just blown away. I've been playing loads of Race Driver Grid on it going, holy shit, this game is great. It's a game I worked on many, many years ago, and I've not played it since. But I've forgotten how good it was, and it runs great on the Steam Deck, because it's a 2007 game. So on the Steam Deck, it runs at absolute max in detail at 60 frames a second.
Oh yeah, there you go.
But Fortresscraft runs fine, Steam Heroes runs fine, Packet Storm runs fine, Adapter runs fine, everything runs fine except
Chapter 1.
Because Amputee never had any pad support. I mean, you can move the arm around, but you can't close the fingers because I never programmed that in.
Isn't that like half the game?
Yes, the game was playing it on the joypad.
No, just half the game is moving the arm around.
Yeah, but the other half of it's closing each of the fingers individually. And to do that, you shift to control and the number keys.
Oh dear. A game I bought and never played. I I feel bad about that.
No, I mean, I'm still the reason. So Todd wants to remove amputee from photograph, Steam Heroes from sale because it doesn't have good reviews. And I say the thing is, every time we do a game, I always put in support for a cool thing in the game that you get if you're in Steam Heroes. So in a way, it's a piece of DLC, and it also means you get a little bit more sales on those things. And it would be nice if some people would write some nice reviews about Steam Heroes. It's honestly not that rough. I like it. Like, it's not as good as Puzzle Quest, which is what I based it on, but it's more of a real-time Puzzle Quest game. But it's got weirdly negative reviews for a game that's, it's a real-time match 3 metagame, and people are bitching it, going, "Oh, it's just a match 3 game." It's like, well, that's,
Yeah. Do you want the store page to say that?
well, it does.
Oh. Oh no!
Like,
Oh no!
the thing is, when I wrote that game, writing games was a lot harder. Like, there was no unity. Nowadays,
Wow.
it's the thing I found with some stuff. Sometimes, like some of the arcade games we've got, they're not even tech demos now. They're barely an experiment in coding. So it's interesting how things go from being a game you'd pay 10 quid to something you would just run it going, "Oh yeah, that's cool." Anyway, like a lot of PlayStation 1 games, you play them going, "Oh yeah, we used to play games in it like this." I'm not playing this anymore. Like, there's no way. It's horrible.
No. Like, trying to boot up Final Fantasy VII and not having analog sticks. It's just like, yeah, I don't know if I could sacrifice for this.
Well, I've got my PlayStation Mini, which obviously comes with a PlayStation controller. It doesn't come with dual shocks, it comes with the original. So when you're trying to play Twisted Metal, you steer on the D-pad, and it's X to accelerate and circle to brake, not the triggers. And it's fucking awful. Destruction Derby again, X to accelerate, 0 to brake or reverse, no, square to brake or reverse, and a D-pad to steer on. I'm like, this is, I mean, it's playable.
This is an experience.
Yeah, and you just never go back to it. But at the time, of course, it was amazing, and that happens a lot.
But that's my thing with Final Fantasy VII. It's Final Fantasy fucking VII.
Yeah.
People will be splooging themselves for the next 6 generations over that game.
I mean, I never played Final Fantasy VII because it came out after Quake. I looked at it and went, "Have you seen Quake? Have you seen how this game looked?"
Fair enough.
It wasn't, that was the thing.
Because
it just was
the graphics were never the point.
Yeah, well, I never played it. I looked at the graphics and went, though interestingly, Did you have a Nintendo 64?
I never played it.
Ah.
My sister was the Nintendo head.
So, someone has reverse engineered Super Mario 64, and they've been optimizing it. So Super Mario ran at about 18 to 20-ish frames a second, and they've optimized it up to 48 frames a second, and they're aiming for 60. But it's not. This is running on original SNES hardware. So, sorry, N64 hardware. They've not modded the hardware. This could have been done if the programmers on Mario were basically shit. There's lots and lots and lots of ridiculous stuff. But it looks like they never had a performance pass over the game. That's amazing.
Understandable.
There's a few other games that do this. Like, people optimize well-loved games that don't run very well on the original hardware, even though you could just make the emulator run quicker. Instead, they've actually optimized ancient code.
Well, what was it? You were saying that people are still doing that with Commodore games.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. People write like Doom clones on the Commodore 64 because we've got a lot better at writing code. Like, a lot of what made Doom what Doom was not the fact computers were faster. It's the fact that John Carmack,
he did so much with so little.
He did a lot of optimizations and a lot of clever things, and then those clever things worked their way back to other games. So when you look at these Commodore 64 updates, it's because we've got a lot better at programming, and compilers have got better in the last 40 years. So that's just got better. Hey, Max.
Hello.
Yeah, just in time to have to finish off the boat.
Well,
We're on
what
a
do you think
boat.
I'm going to do?
And listen to DJ die.
I'm not dying. I'm getting better.
Uh-huh.
I
Honest.
feel happy. Now I have been taking it easy. I've been not pushing myself. So I've got my top flight of my stairs is covered in stuff. So I need to spend some time putting it all in the loft. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna wait till. I'm gonna wait
That's not too much.
Well, I'm gonna wait to the point where going up to the top of the stairs doesn't bring me out of breath. Then I will think about pushing stuff up in the loft.
Are you in career mode? Or
No,
free
free
You
play.
play. You just hit, or you just right-click on their name in Steam and say join. Come on.
Unless you're
Yeah, no, I just want to make sure, because I went straight into career mode and went, hold on, easy.
Yeah, so the map for the temple is 44 megabytes of data to be transmitted to people joining.
Wow.
I don't think they really thought it all the way through.
Yeah, because it transmits at such a slow speed.
Yep, about 1.8 megabit.
Oh dear.
Yeah. And I could easily pull it faster than that, so is it a server-side thing, or is it just a config thing?
No, I know. They just not run it like that. I can send it about 20 megabit. I'm currently using 5 megabit for the stream, so I could probably send realistically at 10 to 12 megabit. I'm actually sending at about 1.2. So
Chris is far too sensitive at the moment. You're cutting out while you're speaking.
I wonder. Oh, how was it?
Okay, so I'm not the only one experiencing this.
Oh,
That's
I
good.
can. Oh, that's. I wonder why.
I don't know.
I will turn Chris.
Because obviously you said it, I'm doing it too.
No, you were cutting off in a definite internety sort of way.
Ah.
I'll turn Chris off. Let me know if it makes any difference.
Okay.
To be fair, I'm probably mumbling a bit. I'm losing
Tired.
breath partway through. Old. I suddenly got old.
Well, stop that.
Rubbish.
Suddenly got ill. I think.
Yes. It's definitely not an age-related thing.
No, I just feel old, but I'm sure I'll feel a bit younger.
We have steps or anything.
Have I got what? Sorry.
Steal the youth.
We have steps.
You don't need them, but I think there might be some around.
Oh, you can move the boat on down.
No, there's a
What?
there's a gantry over the boat.
Yeah, there's a serious amount of scaffolding. Where'd you go?
Okay. I want to get closer to the thing. Top of this hole there.
Ah. I found them. I do like how they actually, like, sort of textured barnacles onto there.
Yeah, no, they definitely have. Yeah, so we completed the last level of the game in 2-player, and I estimate, Andy disagrees, but I estimate if you're really fast, about 5 hours, and if you're playing at the game at an average speed, about 10 hours to complete that last level. I've done it in so many passes, so 5 hours for 2 people. I really, really, really question what the fuck they were thinking with that last level. Just goes
It's
on
a big boy.
and on and on. Yeah, but it's like the murals are very cool and the storytelling's excellent. But as I said to Andy, it should have been that we had to clean the outside of the pyramid, and then we go to another level where we go onto the top floor of the pyramid, and then we start at the bottom and then we work our way up and up or something. Something so it breaks that level up into more smaller levels. But that level just feels very rushed, so I have a sneaky suspicion they were running out of time. So they may actually end up redoing it. Because this game came out on the Xbox as well.
Yeah, this is their full 1.0 release.
Yeah,
this
but it came out
This
on...
is them saying they're done.
Yeah, well, they came out on Game Pass too, you see, so...
Oh dear. Wonder how much they get for that.
I would like to know that myself.
Because
So,
they're obviously getting a cut of the Game Pass moolah.
Something. Yeah, it might be a fixed sum, it might be an ongoing payment, I've no idea. So yeah, things on my to-do list. I need to port Nomads for the Xbox. I want to do a remaster of Adapter. I need to write a game in Unreal 5. So those are my 3
She
things.
didn't like Unreal.
The question that keeps coming up in interviews and chatting with people is, have you done any Unreal stuff? Not really, but I want to learn it.
Well, you were saying the only difference is just different call commands, or just different ways of coding. Like you need Unity or Unreal specific.
It's not that different, and the fundamentals apply. I'd have to just memorize some new keywords. I think it's the majority of it. But I can't say I've done it. So I wrote some stuff earlier, just learning how to use Unreal's lighting. But yeah, I need to work out some sort of very short and small game to write in Unreal, just to give it a whirl, just so I can say, yeah, I did a little prototype in Unreal. But yeah, come whatever the 12th month anniversary of Eden is, that's when I will start doing 1 day a week on Phoenix, and then that will then expand as the other projects finish up.
So that's your year anniversary of just like I've had a long year off of just the horrors that was dealing with that man.
Dealing with voxels.
Fair enough. I thought it was more you're just so upset from dealing with how the whole situation went down.
Well, I
needed a whole year to just calm down.
I got paid quite a lot of money not to enjoy it, so you can't complain too much.
Yeah, but you still did.
Yeah, but I
justifiably, but still.
I bought a Tesla to cheer myself up, so it's all good.
That's his excuse and he's sticking to it.
I mean, it's a good one. But the break from voxels, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Because I mean, some stuff about Eden was very good, but I'm not sure I can backport it into Fortresscraft because it would just break too much. So Eden's file format was vastly superior to Fortresscraft, but I'm not sure I'd want to port A into B.
Take the time and redoing it.
Yeah, I mean, if it ends up that in Fortresscraft I really want to allow the player to hoon along at 200 kilometers an hour, and that's what I'd have to do. But I'd have to have a very good companion for a reason. Yeah, but you don't need to. And there's no ability.
Please.
There's no ability to. But
the tubes from Satisfactory.
But yeah, I wrote this concept of super segments. You pulled in one enormous chunk of data, and then I could fill that out to the smaller systems much quicker. But yeah, I will be doing certainly some performance work, but a lot of it is, as I said, I'm planning on more or less shipping the same game again, with all of the crap taken out that I don't want to, like robot movers, what we call them, and a much improved rendering engine. So that is my goal, more than a radically different game. Is it just a nicer looking game? And one that, so currently Fortresscraft is in 85% sales. So I want to not have personal pain of the game being, it's like $1.85 right now or something to buy it. It's just like I can't sell enough copies to warrant that much of a discount. I'd have to sell 100,000 copies, like as many as the game has already sold, to warrant that sort of markdown.
Then do it.
Oh, well, I plan to.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
that's the attitude. That's the spirit.
I've also had a surprising amount of people experience, like non-Fortresscraft people, experience an interest in Astro Trucks. Like we've had a few people join the Discord purely for Astro Trucks rather than for Fortresscraft. Like some people are very excited about about Euro Truck Simulator in space. Like, oh, okay, right.
It's all the SnowRunner people that are finally sick of Saber's bullshit.
But yeah, I've done
which is a market you could poke at if you wanted.
Well, I did. I mean, Blood Rose said she would do some levels for my SnowRunner clone, but she hasn't actually got very far with that yet.
Well, she is moving.
I know. But yeah, the Astro Trucks it's now become much more of a game. So last time you guys played it, you just moved stuff for the hell of it. Now you move stuff for a reason. There is certain demand.
Probably should get a key from you for it.
Oh, if you're not, I'll chuck you one.
So I can make your networking cry.
No, it's all written brilliantly. But no, it's now got to
Does
the point where you have a reason to take stuff. So you're like, right, we need some iron ingots here. That means this dock here needs some workers, and this dock here needs an asteroid dropped off. You're not just doing stuff just to see if it worked. You're doing stuff for reasons, and you're also progressing your various stats so you have access to better ships. And I've implemented a few tiers of ships. But yeah, I will pencil in a playtest on Friday. Because right now, when Sai tries to run it, apparently the game just breaks. And I was like,
we get those logs?
runs on it. Oh no, his log just stops on the line initializing graphics device. And I'm like, runs on everybody else's computer, so I don't know.
It's Steam Heroes all over again.
We had a problem with one of our main products at work. Turned out it was user.config being corrupt, which is a .NET file. I'm like, can we just hack that and stop it? Apparently not. Ooh, shit. Bad juju.
How much is left of this? We're at 99%. Okay. My brother has stranded himself on his way to work.
He's what, sorry?
Whoops.
He stranded himself. One of his tires went flat, and his spare is also flat. So that's exciting.
There's a name for people like that.
Well, this is a PSA to everybody listening, all three of you.
PSA.
Get your spare tire checked occasionally.
Sorry, speaking as someone who owns an electric car and a smart car, what's a spare tire again?
Oh. Wait, the Tesla doesn't come with one?
Nope, no chance.
Really?
Yeah, where would it go? They're fucking 20-inch wheels.
In the boot, where I expect my normal spare tire to be.
No,
They've got a
modern
front.
cars do not do spare tires. You now get either run flats or a can of goop. Like lots of manufacturers are saving weight.
What? The goop is awful. Oh
yeah.
dear.
I know. I mean, obviously, the smart car just wouldn't fit one under any circumstances. The Impreza's got one, though I can't. It's hilarious. It's about a quarter of the width of the very wide tires that I run on it.
The donut.
PSA, public service announcement.
Who didn't know what that meant?
We don't say
No,
PSA.
we're not in America.
It's a public information film.
Really?
Well, that's like 1960s or something.
Yeah, but so is PSA.
We should really do public information films these days.
Yes, they do need to be brought
So
back.
so many fuckwits out there.
Yes.
It's not even that. It's just there's a lot of stuff to know in this world. Why wouldn't you have just a nice, simple informational video about it?
Well, I mean,
Because college?
no, but
Yeah, that's
no.
not-
So that's not. But like, okay, so there was one in a PSA in England, which was about being in a caravan. And basically, when you go into a caravan, like a mobile home, for the first time, make sure you know where the exits are because they were quite flammable back then. Stuff like that. They wouldn't teach you that at college. And about don't break into electricity substations because you'll die. Things like that.
Yeah, don't do that. This is good information.
At college
This is something worthy of making a silly little video about.
I say Max College is a bit late because you really won't get that through to like 7 and 8 year olds. But I remember watching that video about the one about don't throw your frisbees into power stations and go and get them, and being quite freaked out with it. Jimmy, it was. But yeah, we could do with more of that. Just sort of. I mean, we do get them in the cinemas. The one about cold water shock. If it's warm out and you fall into the water, you might actually get cold water shock and you can't breathe for 30 seconds or so. And I'm like, it was weird. I was just like in the cinema going, why the fuck is this here? Is this like I've never heard of this? But is this happening that much? We actually needed a PSA about it, or a PIF, as we would say.
Yeah.
Winch rope.
Now, and then I can go rescue my brother.
I will waddle off to bed. There we go.
There we go. Nice.
We'll just clean the boat.
When I did that training for going offshore, one of the things they really did there, they got Duncan Goodhue and Sharon Davies, I think, to sort of illustrate that getting into the North Sea is not a good thing.
Oh, wow, it's easy, but don't. Yes.
Yeah, it's very, very cold, and even with Olympic swimmers, you cannot tread water. You cannot. It's just not a place to survive. You need to get into a lifeboat.
Keep defaults. I love. To be fair, the bot is actually spot on for creating events. When should the event start? Friday at 9 PM. What's the duration of this event? 3 hours. How should this event repeat weekly? And done.
Well, I gotta go rescue my brother.
All right.
Y'all have a good evening.
I will do. I will chuck you a key, and I shall bid the rest of you good night, and I will see you Friday for a dev stream, and possibly sooner do this trailer thing. So